Ever had a front row seat to a customer outburst over something petty? Welcome to a world where entitlement meets reality, and reality has receipts. In today's video, we're diving into 10 moments where customers thought they could get away with being rude, but instead learned a lesson, and sometimes a dose of their own medicine. From queue jumpers getting humbled to actual shoplifters getting caught, each story ends with a little poetic justice. Stick around till the end, because the last one is really mind-blowing and involves a restaurant heist without a getaway car. Let's jump in. A customer takes it too far and calls the flight attendant an insulting word right in front of everyone. Enter the airline manager, all cool and corporate. The customer immediately launches into her dramatic speech, demanding everything from apologies and refunds to, who knows, maybe a throne. She's convinced he'll side with her. Instead, the manager listens, stays calm, and professionally informs her she's no longer allowed on the flight due to her behavior. Now that's accountability. She's stunned. She just looks at him as he walks away, leaving her with her luggage.
Second of all, you called my employee a bitch. Completely uncalled for, inappropriate, you're not going to travel. We don't tolerate that crap with us at all. So you can find another career to find. I'd suggest Spirit.
Lesson of the day. The sky isn't the limit when your attitude's stuck underground. She came in with an attitude and left with a lesson. It started when she made a rude, racially charged comment toward an employee, clearly trying to belittle him. He stayed calm but firm, and when she asked if he was even American, he looked her straight in the eye and said, "Yes, I am, just like you." Then he did what needed to be done, banned her from the store. As she turned to leave, clearly stunned, the rest of the customers didn't stay silent. They booed her out the door.
It's $1.20. Boo! You're white trash.
She got caught red-handed, trying to lift unpaid items, and was promptly told to leave. She put on a show of walking out, all offended and innocent, but just as the staff thought it was over, she whirled back in like a budget action villain and started trashing the shelves, knocking down products, screaming like the store owed her something. Then came the twist. She marched back to the door to make her grand exit, only to find it locked. Yep, security had seen this kind of drama before. She wasn't going anywhere. Now it was just her, the mess she made, and the very awkward wait for the police.
Call the loud owner. Yo, going to jail now. You'll get right when them laws come. You can't get that. You can't get that.
You know, some people can argue with a cashier like they're on the steps of the Supreme Court, but one woman took it way further, and when she didn't get her way, she threatened to call the mayor and make a citizen's arrest. Yep, it gets better. Let's get into the mask and the mayor. It was just another shift for the young worker behind the counter. Then she walked in. No mask, no intention of wearing one. She greeted her politely and informed her about the store's policy. The customer refused. The worker calmly repeated the policy, offered her a mask, even pointed to the sign on the door. But no, she wasn't having it. She escalated things quickly, even threatening to involve the mayor and claiming she'd make a citizen's arrest. Yes, really. The worker ignored her and just went back to her duties. Soon enough, the customer left on her own.
Harassing me to wear a mask? You guys are violating federal law. You get that? Get that on camera.
Have you ever seen someone skip the line like the rules don't apply to them? Well, one woman tried it and thought she could bully her way to the front, but the cashier had other plans, and what he did next had the whole store quietly cheering. She sat in the chair, but her attitude stood 10 feet tall, talking down to the hairdresser like she owned the salon, criticizing everything she did. But the hairdresser wasn't having it. She paused, looked her straight in the mirror, and said, "I won't let you speak to me like that. You can be on your way." The customer still tried to stand her ground because she felt she was paying money and so she could tell her to do anything, but the stylist wasn't having it. Before the customer could come up with a snarky reply, staff was already walking her out, because in that salon, respect is the real style standard. She thought she had it all figured out, walked in, tried to pay with a fake credit card like she'd done it a dozen times before, but this time she was caught. The security guard didn't shout, didn't touch her, just calmly locked the door. That's when the panic set in. She whipped out her phone, screaming for her daddy to come get her out like it was some teenage grounding gone wrong. The guard just smiled and told her the police were on their way and would be the ones getting her out. Suddenly, that stolen card wasn't the worst part of her day. If stealing customers is nothing new, what happens when they push the wrong employee too far? Let's just say this fast food worker served up a meal with a bite taken out of it, literally. At a McDonald's during a hectic lunch rush, a customer gets her order brought out finally, but refuses to take it. "We've been waiting too long," she snaps, as if the poor worker delivering it personally slow-cooked the donuts, and the guy just stares at her. When it was finally too much, he casually reaches into the paper bag, grabs a fry, eats it, reaches again, and starts eating the burger. Finally, he calmly drops the bag into her car, an unbothered exit that said more than words ever could. And now, we're were in the top 3. I know you must be wondering what else could be worse than what you've already seen, but coming up is a refund rumble, a fighter kitchen staff, and a cup of lemonade versus a water hose. They were annoying and trying to get the attendant worked up, but he stayed calm, trying to help, but they didn't want solutions. They wanted a scene, demanded a refund, hurled insults, then pulled out their phones and started recording. He told them to stop. They didn't. One even demanded to use the restroom. That's when he'd had enough. He told them to leave and warned that if the video surfaces, he'll sue for harassment. Suddenly, they weren't so loud anymore. Sometimes being calm doesn't mean being a pushover. It means knowing exactly when to stand your ground and how to do it with a legal warning.
Chili flakes, and you are not giving us a chili flakes. There's a video.
I never said that I was giving you guys chili.
Oh, you told me. I'm not gonna. Yeah, then please give us a chili flakes.
Checking for more chili flakes.
Okay. Please give us a chili flakes, and there's a video, and that is going to get on the Twitter tomorrow.
Okay, guys.
You wanna check chili flakes?
Get out of my store.
You wanna check chili flakes? Are you giving us a chili flakes?
Okay.
Are you giving us a chili flakes or not? We are just asking for a chili flakes. Like you cannot give us a chili flakes. Like that's so stupid, man.
No, you guys are hostile for no reason. I was going to check in the back, and that's what I said to you, and then you started yelling in my face. I never said no to chili flakes at all.
Man,
and the truth is, most of these customers feel so entitled, they never expect any fight back from the workers, so the next one was a shocker. At a busy diner, a rude customer starts yelling at the staff, and then escalates by trying to throw punches. Big mistake. One of the kitchen staff, who was previously quiet, unassuming, probably slices onions like a ninja, steps out and confronts the customer. The staffer defended himself, though not ideal and definitely not encouraged, but it ended with the customer quickly rethinking his choices. It was a quick moment that left everyone shocked and the customer on the ground. All the time, the staffer keeps taunting the customer, saying, "For what, shoddy?" Order customers came to intervene, but sadly the damage was done. Twice. Moral of the story? Don't swing at the people who can cook, clean, and clap back physically. You might leave with more than just your receipt, but just when you think you've heard it all, rude customers, thrown drinks, cookies to the floor, 4 customers all at once thought they could rob a restaurant, but they forgot something very important. Let's talk about the Dine and Dash disaster. A group of women walked into the restaurant. They ate like queens, drank like there was no tomorrow, and when it was time for the bill, they vanished. Classic Dine and Dash. But karma was quicker than their getaway. They'd left something behind, the car keys. Minutes later, they reappeared, faces suddenly serious. They lied that they all went to the bathroom. Sure, all 4 of you at once? For 30 minutes? The waitress didn't even flinch. She smiled, handed them each their individual bill, and the rest of the restaurant burst out laughing. Because if you're going to run, never ever forget the keys to your getaway car. Phew, entitlement really has no off switch, huh? From airborne cookies to imaginary mayors and citizens' arrests, we've seen just how wild things can get when respect leaves the building. But shout out to the workers who kept it cool, clapped back, or served karma with a side of fries. Remember, kindness is free and customer service workers deserve respect, not disrespect. Got a favorite scenario? Or maybe you've witnessed one of these meltdowns in real life? Drop it in the comments, we're dying to hear your story. And if you enjoyed this wild ride, hit that like, subscribe, and check out our next video.